Hey guys, welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Destiny.
I'm Sierra. Today we have Katie Werhner here, the owner of Fig and Willow Boutique. She also has 2 storefronts and 1 online store. So, Katie, do you want to tell us a bit about your journey?
Sure. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I own Fig and Willow Boutique. I have 2 brick and mortar locations. The first one I opened in 2016, and then the second one I opened in the pandemic in 2020.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, I opened it in
What?
November.
Oh my God.
It was a
Stressful.
leap of faith.
Yeah,
for
literally.
sure.
Yes. And somehow, luckily, it's done well. And then I have the online store, which the online store I did start, I think it was like 2018, a little bit after I had opened up the first location.
What's your inspiration behind Fig and Willow?
Yeah.
Why did you want to start it? What has your journey kind of been?
So my background is corporate retail. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a buyer for Saks Fifth Avenue, and that was the path that I was taking. And I never ended up working at Saks, but I worked for Bell's Outlet.
Mhm.
Their headquarters was down in Bradenton, which is where I'm from. And then I worked for Steinmart here in Jacksonville before they closed. So just kind of having that passion for retail and that buying side in general, my whole career history has been retail, whether it was working in the stores or working in corporate retail. And then I had my first son in 2016, and I just wanted somewhere that I could shop that was affordable and made me feel like it was an expensive boutique. I didn't want to feel like I was having to flip all of the tags over, because sometimes you'd walk into places and I'd be like, okay, is this going to be $50 or is this going to be $350? And then I'm kind of
Mhm.
embarrassed because I have to leave because
Right.
I'm just not going to spend $350, especially after having my first son. And then now that I have 2 more kids, so I have 3 total. I just don't think that clothes, in order to make you feel good, have to be super expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you
Mhm.
can find amazing quality and it's not going to break your bank, because I want quality pieces in my wardrobe that I can pick out easily, I can easily style, I can wear them from day to night, that I can live in, and I'm not upset or stressed out if something happened to this super expensive top. That was definitely what I really wanted to create when I started the brand. Having that along with kind of doing my own thing, I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. I didn't know if it was going to be a physical boutique or if I was going to do something online. And it just so happened that I found the space for the first Neptune Beach store. I was driving in the car with my dad and my husband, and we saw a for lease sign in this brand new building that was in this perfect spot. And my dad said, "Why don't you just call to see if it's available?" And I said, "It's probably gone." Those, when you're at the beach and everything,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gone in an
Quick.
instant. Yeah. So I said, "It's probably gone." And he said, "Just call." So I said, "Okay, fine." So I called and they said, "Yes, we have a space open." And so I was like, well, it's fate. I have to do it now.
Yeah.
So I
It's such a good location too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I created the business plan, got the business going while I was still on my maternity leave before I went back to Steinmart. And that's kind of what
Wow.
definitely kept it going in that direction. I just never looked back. I just
Yeah.
kind of thought, well, I just have to do this now.
So I love that.
Yeah.
So you found your space before you were even like, this is what I want to do.
I know
Isn't
it
that
wasn't,
crazy?
it wasn't that I had started everything and then was looking for a space. The
Yeah.
space just kind of was there. And so I thought, well,
Mhm.
We talk so much about that too, about how number one, not only having a passion behind what you're doing,
mhm,
but just like allowing things to organically happen. I feel like sometimes like we want something so bad, but it's not time for us. It's not that we're not supposed to do it, but it's just not the time.
yeah,
I feel like for us, for you, for so many people, the success stories come from literally just happening. It's
yes,
just, okay, now we have to run with this.
right.
Yeah.
So you opened your Neptune Beach store in 2016. And then what made you want to start doing your online store?
It really was just my kind of history of retail. It was just like the way that the world was going, is people wanted to shop online, and I just wanted to make it more available. Being in that Beaches Town Center too, we had a lot of tourists that would come in and like, "I love your
Mhm.
stuff. I wish that I could buy it, but I don't live here." And so just kind of
Okay.
hearing that over and over, I
Yeah,
thought, okay,
that's genius.
You're
yeah,
like,
Love
let
it.
me make it available
yes,
if you can't make it to come in.
yeah.
I like
But it
that.
definitely pushed the business forward. I mean, it's just given it like this whole other direction that I don't know that I was entirely ready for. But now it's just been, like a huge learning curve, kind of trying to figure that out because online e-commerce is so different from brick and mortar. And it's just like a whole different game. But it's been fun. I think that's the thing that I love the most is change
Yeah.
and testing myself. Like I'm always looking for some way to kind of better myself for the business. And so I think it's been fun trying to figure that out.
Yeah. And then you open your second store in 2020. So
Yes.
clearly it's like, yes, you obviously had some logical behind it, but it seems like you're really just like, I gotta go for this. Like this is
Yeah.
what it's time to do.
Yeah. I think I have just something in my gut that says I want to have 5 stores. And I think it's just kind of like a personal goal that I just
Yeah.
kind of want to do it. And so that one kind of popped up, the San Marco location. And I knew that the space was really good. I thought, I don't know that if this is the best time to do it with the pandemic, but I don't want to give this space up because I think it's going to be great. So I just went for it. And I think just kind of having that like personal
Yeah.
goal that's just like always lingering just helps kind of push me forward.
As much as the pandemic was scary and really bad for certain businesses, I feel like businesses where you make that personal connection with
Yeah.
your clients, we thrived. My business took off in 2020 because it was like no one really knew what was going on. We weren't seeing people. So when you found a business where you could relate to that and like just feel some kind of safety, or I don't know what it was. I went extension exclusive in 2020, a big decision like yours expanding, like reality of logical, it's probably like that's not the best thing to do. Like
That's
we
best for
probably
you.
shouldn't be making these big changes based off the economy and the world and da 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 da.
Right.
But just like trusting your gut and knowing this is what I need. And obviously it's been a huge success, which is great.
I think people really still just want connection too. So as much as you can personalize your brand and have it a little bit more relatable, and if people know you, I think it's just so different. So
It is.
I try to be personal on it, and then, sometimes I'm not involved and sometimes I am, but I think the more that people get to know you and just behind the brand,
Yeah.
people just have that connection.
I
I
think
think
in
it's nice.
I think in 2022 there was also 2022.
Yeah.
In 2020 there was also
Yeah.
like a really big push to shop small and shop
Yes.
local and support your small business
Yes.
owners. And I know I started my business in 2020 as well, but I actually was just listening to another podcast, and apparently there's a statistic, and the most businesses that have ever been started in 1 year was 2020.
Really?
Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I was just
Probably
like,
people were home more and
Yeah.
like could actually
yeah, they were
it's
able to
fun.
think about what they truly wanted.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been a time really where people got to do that.
Yeah.
So I think, we like
reevaluating
at a time where like, you feel like there's nothing to look forward to almost.
Well, and
we were all
how-
kind of lost.
Yeah.
how perfect too, like having your online store at that
Oh,
point.
yeah.
where
Yes.
girl. That was
Yes.
the best time. All I
Yes.
was doing was online.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
happy that I already had it established because I
Yes.
have some
Yeah.
friends who also have boutiques and they were trying to get theirs kind of up and running, and it just made it way more stressful trying to kind
Yeah.
of figure it out
Because you're
within
at
like a
time,
month.
It's like we got to get this done.
So was everybody
the
kind of
store
looking to you?
closed.
Like, were your friends looking to you?
I mean, I would say that I do have some friends that I have mentored,
Yeah.
yes, that do come and ask me quite a bit of questions on like boutique owning and just business owning.
Yeah.
Just some, kind of how-to things.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
Aw.
I definitely do like to help. I am an open book for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Because
seem like it.
when I started, I had no idea, and I just turned to Google and
Yeah.
like for everything, and I had to test everything on my own. And so sometimes it's just nice to have a person to ask.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
What's the best way to do this? You know?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally why we started this podcast.
I was thinking
because
that right
we
now.
were the same. Like
Yeah.
we just had to figure everything out. And like we talked about before, it's almost like some people, when you ask them questions, like they're so bothered. by
Yes.
it.
And you
Yeah.
can tell you
And
get
you're
the
just
sense
like,
for it. Like,
yeah.
like,
And you're just
oh,
like,
I'm not supposed to ask this question.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Yeah.
what does it matter?
You're like,
We
why are
found
you
it out.
gatekeeping?
Yeah.
And it,
Share.
We can win
and if you're
together.
confident in your
Yes.
business,
Yes.
like sharing with someone else,
Yeah.
and, like you're your own business. And
Yeah.
it's
Sure.
like I have a certain like ideal client and people who shop with me. You have a certain like we all have different things,
Yes.
So
And the way you do it is different. The way that I do my content, the way that I buy, I mean, like the way that I run the back end of the business. I can give people advice on it, but nobody's ever going to do it the exact same
Yes.
way that I do it. And so
Yeah.
it's not like I'm afraid they're going to come take what I'm doing. And
Yeah.
then they might do it better. And that's great. But I have a different connection with my
Right.
people and they have a different connection. And so,
Right.
you know,
I-
community over competition.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's so true. I have like even clients who will be like, "Are you sure you want to hire an assistant? Like they're
Yeah.
just gonna like learn from you." And I'm like, that's what I want. Like,
Yes.
I want someone to
Yeah.
grow and leave and like not have to go through the struggles.
I know. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help
It
make
can-
it better for somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Katie, what helped you stay grounded while you were expanding, building businesses? When did you know to reach out and start to hire employees or, outsource, things like that?
Get some help.
Mm-hmm.
So my first employee, I probably hired, honestly, 4 months after opening. And this was when it was just in the store. And we were open 7 days a week. And I had a 6-month-old baby. And I was in the store
Every day?
open to close. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I thought at first, I was like, I can do it. It's not a big deal. He literally was coming into the store with me. I had a pack and play in the bathroom. And he would just sleep in there, take his naps, and then I'd have like a little thing that he could roll around in and be on the floor. And that's the nice thing about having a small business and your own. You could do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
If I was at Steinmart, I could not have brought
Yeah.
my baby to work.
Yeah.
So it was kind of another reason why I did what I did. But so I did reach out and finally hire my first employee, and she started closing the store for me. So like a couple days a week, I would be able to leave at 2 instead of, 6:30. And it was just such a game changer. And I felt like I was able to do so much more. So it was just kind of like that little tidbit of like,
Mhm.
okay, if you start to ask for more help, it just allows you more time with your family. Plus,
Mhm.
you can work on your business and make it even better.
I was
Work
gonna
on your
say, I
business instead of
think
in your business.
Yes.
that's like a hard concept to grasp when you
Yes.
don't have employees. Like,
Right.
Mhm.
yes, you're spending more money. I think it's
Mhm.
hard to be like, oh my God, I can do this by myself. I don't really want to pay someone to do this.
Yeah.
But it's like, you have to look at the bigger picture and see like you're freeing up your time
Mhm.
to then work on your business or yourself more to
Yeah.
then be able to produce more long term.
Yes.
But that is so hard to like understand when you've
Yeah.
never like
Yeah, but go
had to
7
experience that
days a
before.
week,
Yeah.
open to close?
Yeah. Sunday was 11 to 4. So it was a shorter day. But yeah.
I also, one of my salons had a pack and play in there and like had my son in there as
Yeah.
well. And that's why I actually started my own business too.
Mhm.
Because I was just like, I can't, like, I need more freedom.
Yeah.
Which is funny because in the beginning, you
Yeah.
slave to your business,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
eventually, obviously,
Yeah.
it ends up being worth it.
You do it all.
So,
Yes, that was the first hire. And then slowly from there, I started trickling more and more. And then actually, after I had my third, with the 2 stores and the online, and now that I have 3 kids, I am fully out of the store. So after I had her, I just knew I had to take myself off of like a shift because lo and behold, every time I had a shift, somebody had a fever or we had a
Mhm.
doctor's appointment or something happened, and I always had to ask for help. So I took myself out of the store 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's
So you were still like working in the store,
Yeah.
like, okay.
For a while.
I still was, doing shifts and in there. And I do love being in there. I mean, it's the people that have helped me keep the business
Yeah.
and I have relationships with the customers. And so it's sad to not be in there. But currently in this phase of life, my kids are so important and they're only little ones. And so I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure out some sort of balance, if there even is a balance.
I
I don't know that there really is.
I feel the same. I feel like sometimes life takes over more, like personal life, sometimes business takes over
Yes.
more. It's just like
Yeah.
finding,
You
Whichever
gotta be
one
like
you
not
flexible.
even
more.
balance. It's
It's
Yeah.
like juggling. Like that's the balance now. It's
Yes.
like, how do you
Yeah.
juggle?
Whichever
Yeah.
one screams the loudest.
Yeah,
is
that's where you're at.
where you're at for the day.
Yeah, I give props to you. It's so hard too because it's like I'm creating a business and creating more for my kid.
I know.
But then it's like by being in my business, I'm away from my it's
I
just
know.
like what do you do?
Yeah.
Like,
And some days I would rather be working than being at home. And
Yeah.
I actually love that we do have a little bit of separation sometimes because I don't think I would be the best mom if I was home 24/7. So I love that I'm able to kind of do my own
Yeah.
thing. I am truly a worker, like
Yeah.
through and through. I love working. I love being my own person. And I love having a family and kids, but I like having them separate, which I think a lot of people like wouldn't
I love
agree
that
with.
you're transparent. No,
just
I love
about
that
to
you're
say that.
transparent about that.
I don't know if you ever I feel like society makes me feel guilty
Yes.
for working and being a
Yes.
mom.
Right. Yeah. You're going to
God
miss
put you
these
here
years.
to,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
but like you said earlier, I truly don't feel like I would be the best mom for Nico if
Right.
I wasn't doing what I loved.
I
And it's like,
know.
I don't think just because you're a mom, like if you want to be a stay-at-home mom and like that's like I truly think there are people who like that is to their core what
Yes.
they want. Like they
Yes.
want to be a stay-at-home mom. They want to homeschool their kid.
Right.
You know, they want to be there for everything. And it's like, that's just not me.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I'm a bad mom.
Right.
Like that's just not who I am.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I
And
love
there
that
shouldn't
you
be
guys
shame
are
around
so
it.
transparent about this because I like obviously like I don't have kids yet. My kid is my dog,
Mm-hmm.
and that's in the business. That's my baby right now. But I feel like there's all this pressure around becoming a mom, even that I'm like, okay, well, I still have this business, and then I need to be able to pivot completely out of that. And I'm over here like I can't even balance the business I have and talking to vendors at midnight and doing all this other stuff. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and then you're over here with 3 babies,
Yeah.
3 businesses. And I'm like, I love that you're not like,
Pretending.
yes,
Yeah.
or like bending to what society expects of us. Like you were
Yeah.
like, no, sometimes I'd prefer to be at work.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I've been afraid to even say that.
I know.
Like, I know I'm going to be the mom that's like, I can't do this every day.
Yeah. I mean, and my kids are little. They're 7, 5, and 3. So they are super needy. They're
busy.
clingy. They need you a lot. And so
Yeah.
I love that. But I, in the morning, I'm like, okay, we've had like an hour of I've literally done something for everybody else
Yeah.
besides
Yeah.
myself.
Yep.
And I think it's important to take care of myself too. So they go to school and then I have a chance to get ready for the day. I have a chance to be creative, work with people, kind of do my own thing. And then it shuts off again around 3, get the kids, and then I'm like mom mode again.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think too, it's like when you're running a business and either you have kids or that's something that you want in the future, you have to realize, like we were saying earlier, like there's certain days where your business is going to take more or your kids are going to take more. I also feel like there's seasons of life in
Yeah.
general. Like when you're going through expanding your business, opening another store, or, bringing in more clothes in your case, like your business in that season might take more, and it's
Yeah.
like, I feel like we just, it's hard to like accept that. I don't know if your kids like mom guilt you sometimes. Like I
Yeah.
honestly don't think they're doing it on purpose.
Right.
But,
No.
I know my son will be like, Mom, nah," and it's like I try to just remind myself like this is a short time and I'm doing this so
Yeah.
that I can free up more time so that at 3 o'clock when they're home from school, I can be present with
Yes.
them because I
Right.
now have all these systems in place and I have employees that
Yeah.
can help take care of things so that I don't have to physically be there.
Yeah.
But going through it can definitely be like very hard
Oh, yeah.
and stressful.
Yeah. I think there's always going to be that mom guilt. I mean, you're always going to wonder if you're doing it right or wrong, or whichever way you're doing it, you just feel like you should be doing it the other way, and it's
Yeah.
like a daily
I think it's
back
hard
and forth.
too now with like social media
Yeah.
and people posting, and it's just so
People making like perfectly pureed, beautiful like meals for their babies.
Yeah.
And like all
Yeah,
this other
it's not
stuff.
the
And you're
reality.
like, I made you a sandwich.
And I tell my clients this, I'm like, they'll be like, oh, are you gonna have another kid? Like, whatever. And I was like, to be honest with you, like, selfishly, like, I want to grow my business.
Yeah.
And I know who I am as a person too, where when I go in on something, I go hard.
Yes.
When I had Nico, I mean, I breastfed him till he was 2.5. I made all his baby food, like
Yeah.
everything was, and it's
You
like,
did.
I can't do that again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I won't be a good mom.
But I don't
Yeah,
think that
I
that's a
can't.
selfish thing, even that you said that.
I care about my kids so much that I don't want to do that to another child.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and like you said, it's your phase of life. So like
Right.
in that phase of life, you were a little bit more focused on like the one that needed you the most,
Yeah.
and now that
Mhm.
he's a little bit older
He
and
was
he's
screaming louder.
Yes, exactly. And like, he's in school,
Yeah.
doesn't need you as much as he did in that little phase.
I feel like too, like when I first started my business, which you can probably relate to, I know you have 2 more, but when I was building my business, there wasn't as much as that mom guilt because he was a baby.
Yeah.
He was with me. And so like, I feel like it was a little bit easier to navigate through it. But now he knows, okay, mom is working, like mom's not here, whatever. And so I just feel like where I want my business to go,
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
can't.
I also think there's something great about your kids being more independent. Like, I
Yes.
love that my children have friends
Yeah.
and have a social life. And, I'm not their only interaction.
Yeah.
And I think that is also something, they have their own little lives. And I mean, not they're not driving to go to friends' houses now, but
Yeah.
I just think that that is something special too. That yes, I have chosen to work. I can still parent my kids, and we still have a great relationship. It bothers me all of these things that you see on social. Your kids are only kids until they're 4, and if you miss it, it's gone. And it's like,
Yeah.
whoa,
I
that
heard
is
that
so
today.
hardcore. I mean, I don't think that 2 of the 3 are over 4, and she's about to be 4. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, I'm not missing anything.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
still
like,
very
it's just
present.
yeah, it's just different. I
Yeah.
think it's weird that people say that because I was listening to a YouTube ramble thing today. They were interviewing someone and the woman was talking and she was like, well, like I missed my childhood because I was working and building all these businesses. She was like this multimillionaire business owner woman. And she was like, but now I'm working on being in my child's life and we're rekindling our relationship. And I'm really trying to be more present with her now. And she's like grown.
Mhm.
But I was like, in my head immediately, I was like, your child is still, they only have each phase once.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean? Like, they're never going to be a baby again. They're never going to be 9 again. They're
Yeah.
never going to be
Yeah.
13 again.
Yeah.
And I think there's a difference
like-
between your business, like taking your time because you're growing it, and your lack of boundaries taking your time.
Yeah.
I feel like in the beginning, I was feeling like I needed
True.
to change because it was like I was allowing my clients' schedule and like
Yes.
when they wanted to
Yes.
come in and all of that stuff dictate the time that I spent with my son. It wasn't my choice.
Right.
Where now it's like I have boundaries within my business. And so I've done things where I can be home on the weekend or
Mhm.
and if I have to hop on the computer, it's not I don't know, I don't feel as bad about it because it's like this is my choice. This isn't like my clients dictating if I have to be here or
Yeah.
whatever the case is. But
I think it's also growth, and it kind of goes back to the employees is as you grow in your business, you just learn your boundaries.
Yes.
Exactly. And I've told myself that too. I'm going to try to take every Friday off. And now by asking for more help, I'm able to shut my computer at 3 and not open it
Yeah.
again for the rest of the day. So
yeah.
too, like it's a learning curve. I want to do both. And I struggled in the beginning trying to figure out
Yeah.
getting it all done, and everybody sacrificed. The business sacrificed, the kids sacrificed. I probably sacrificed the most because I wasn't taking care of myself.
Right.
It was either the kids or the business. And so
Yeah.
then it was just,
Yeah. Oh my God,
a
that-
huge learning curve where I was like, okay, I'm going to actually start to put myself and think about what I want my life to look like. And I would
Mhm.
rather have more people helping me and, be able to grow a little bit more and then free up my time because that's what's important to me currently.
Yes.
Is like focusing on my health, making sure that I'm there for the kids and growing the business. And like the only way to do that is to outsource and ask for help.
Yeah. I think it's cool too when you are a business owner for your kids to see that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Nico is so excited. And like, even yesterday, I had to come to the salon in the afternoon and he's like, can I come with you?
Mhm.
Like, things
Yeah.
like that. It's just he's seeing me working hard. And we were at the dealership the other day and there was a really nice car. And I was like, if you work hard and go,
Yeah.
one day you can buy that for yourself. It's just, it's different. And it's not that one way is better than the other. It's
Right.
not being a stay-at-home mom is better than being a business owner or vice versa. It's just like everyone has their own life and their own journey and we're trying to make it work.
Right.
It's
Trying
it
to go
is
for your
hard.
passion, whatever it is.
Yeah. Through the chaos of trying, like, even if you don't have kids, like, just life, something's always there. There's always going to be something. I don't know if you ever go through times where you feel uninspired. Like,
Yeah.
I need to do this, but I just don't want to do this. I know I'm currently there right
Yeah.
now where
It's
I'm
funny.
like,
I feel
need
like
to
I'm in
grow,
it
but
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel uninspired right now?
Currently.
I was just telling Destiny that, we were just saying we were both feeling uninspired. And then I told myself, like, how I found that space. I was like, oh, inspiration.
Yeah.
But, like, I walked in and I was like, I just need space.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But I feel like pushing yourself to do another thing is what inspires me.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I think, like, for me, I think I'm uninspired when I'm overwhelmed and burnt out.
Yes.
And if I have too much on my plate and I'm trying to do everything, I'm just completely over it. I'm like, I
Yep.
don't even know what to do. I can't even
Yeah.
have any kind of like creative brain power. I've got nothing left. And I think it's current because I'm just coming out of summer and I try to spend more time with the kids in the summer.
Mhm.
And then it's like, I'm not really doing a lot for the business in the stores. Like, I'm not really present there, but I have a team, but I'm still
Right.
trying to kind of answer their questions in between being with the kids and camps and vacations and like
Right.
all the things. And so now that they're back in school, like I'm trying to do the grind of like the back to school stuff. And then I'm also like deeply invested in trying to get back with the teams and like what I
Yeah.
missed. And how are we doing certain things, plus like hiring new people. So I feel like,
You're shifting.
yeah, I'm in this more of like a systems grind, kind of like trying to get our routine back in life, plus like
That's so
the
hard.
stores. Yes. And I do love systems and I
Yeah.
love trying to kind of figure all that stuff out. But that's kind of where my like mental brain power is going currently. So I
Yeah.
feel just kind of out of the like creative.
I feel like it's so easy too to be comfortable when you're at a point where you don't need growth, but you want it.
Yeah.
When you first started your business and you had your kid and it was like, okay, I have to do this.
Yes.
Like we signed this lease, we have to get this
Yeah.
done, you know? And when you're at a point where it's just kind of like things are smooth sailing,
Yeah.
I feel like other people looking in, it's like, oh, that's great. But when you're an entrepreneur, you always want more. Like
Yes.
it's like, what's the next step? What's the next step?
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that like comfortableness
I
of
find that
like,
I have guilt behind being comfortable too,
Yeah.
though. Or if I do push myself, like I almost get to that burnout feeling that
Yeah.
you were just describing, where you're like, okay, I have so much going on and I'm balancing things and now I'm uninspired. And then I'm like, well, I'm feeling this way because I pushed myself
Right.
to be inspired. And now it's turned into being uninspired
Yeah.
because there's so much going on and I could have just been comfortable.
yeah.
And then there's guilt here for this.
Yeah.
One of my clients actually brought up something to me the other day that I found very interesting. She's been my client for a while and knows me pretty well. And I was kind of talking about just like being uninspired and like not wanting to do anything and, you know, whatever. And I was talking about how like my shift in my business is I've been wanting to go more into education. So we have the podcast, working on business coaching and stuff like that. And I was like, it's weird because I love doing hair extensions and I'm really good at it. But if I had an opportunity where like I could make the same amount of money doing something else, I'd probably take it. I'm like, I
Yeah.
hate to say that. And she brought up to me, she's like, do you feel like it's because you've mastered it? Like you have nothing else left to get better at? You know, not that I'm not saying I'm the best at it.
No,
but
yeah,
you
it's
know,
such a good
I
point.
don't have anything to like push me of like, oh, I want to be better at this. I'm at a point where it's like, okay, now what? You
Yeah.
know? And so when she said that, it honestly made me feel better because I'm like, I love hair extensions. It's not that I don't want to do it anymore. And I was struggling with the fact that I was feeling that way.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's not that I just want to like close my salon and like
Right.
not do hair anymore. But I was just like, why do I feel this way? And when she said that, I'm like, it really made me sit and reflect. And I'm like, that's a great point. So like, what do I need to do to switch that up a little bit? And that's why I feel like we've been going so hard, at least
Yeah.
me on like, I feel like I've just been going hard with wanting to do the podcast
Yeah.
because it's like, it's something new and it's something different. And like, that gives me my inspiration. But like, I feel guilty at the same time because I feel like my personal business, I'm just kind of like,
Well, I mean, I love that. That makes so much sense because to your point, it's like you've kind of mastered it and you've
Yeah.
set everything up. And it's kind of what I've done with the stores. Like I
Yeah.
have figured out all those systems and it runs so smoothly
Right.
without me. And
right.
so it's like, what's next? You
Yeah.
know? So now we're like giving this big push to the online store. I'm also trying to do more in like personal branding. I'm thinking about doing my own clothing line. So it's like all these things that I'm like, I literally can't just sit and be
That's-
comfortable
Yeah.
with like what
Yeah.
I've got. It's
Yeah.
that I don't know, it's like a growth entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
Like you're
Mhm.
just always trying to
You're always tinkering and doing something. And I
Yeah.
feel like once something like even with my business, like I had this huge goal to get like where all my clients were coming to me from Instagram. And I was like, no, because someone made a comment to me and they're like, your business isn't a legit business unless you're like not on just social media. Like, you know? So then I was like, screw it. I'm going to try something. So then now I'm just getting constant clients and I have my online booking system and I can be sitting here. Like I woke up this morning to people booking clients, like
Yeah.
booking appointments. And I was like, this is flowing. But then I was like, oh,
you do something
now
else.
I need to do
Now what?
something else.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Isn't
it's
it
so
a little
weird.
sad
And
though,
we
a
work
little
so
bit? People are like, sit and read a book, you know? Like if you need
So
something to do,
independent.
like read a book or, you know, like I do try to go for a walk, but I'm always listening to like business podcasts.
Yes.
Like I'm literally not listening to like crime shows.
Yeah.
It's just how my brain is. I can't
Mhm.
shut it off.
Legit, like we don't hang out for fun. Like I feel
Yeah.
like if we're hanging out, like even if the original intention was like just hanging out,
It
Yeah.
happens.
It goes
like,
to
it
work.
just
Turns
beelines. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's because there's also like we started the podcast for community,
Right.
right? So like I feel like we're all sitting here and we're like kikiing and whatever
Yes.
because we relate to each other
Yes.
because our brains constantly go back to like
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
right? But then I'll talk to my friends that don't have businesses and like it's cool, but they still even freaking talk to me about my business.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Even our
You can't get away.
podcast, like, I feel like the original intention was, like, just community building, and then that
They,
Madison
like,
here was like, "Oh, we're there?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
and she's more like, but at the beginning, Destiny was like, no, this is an outlet. She's like,
Yeah.
this is the
This is
fun.
I was like, "It is." She's like, "That's not a passion, but it's I'm passionate about it. It's a
Yeah, I'm
project."
passionate about business. It's what I like.
But yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I get it.
but I think too,
Good
like, we have
mindset.
to stop making ourselves feel it's just who we are.
it is. And we just need to
So, like,
accept it and let it
yeah.
happen. And I think we should be proud of it.
The
Yeah.
stack of books that like I have for like business and bettering myself.
Yes.
And my husband was like, I think you need to tone it down a little bit. Like you've got your like self-help journey and like
Yeah.
bettering yourself. He's like, it's great, but you're stressing yourself out, you know? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I know.
I know.
Once I get through these books, I'll be done. I
Yeah.
promise. He's like, yeah, right.
But that-
and then I just order more.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that one looks good. Maybe I can learn something from that. And then the problem is you
Exactly.
take all these like tidbits and then I make all these notes and I'm like, okay, I need to do
Mhm.
this and this and this. And then I'm like, you just never stop.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know. It's like a blessing and a curse at the
is.
same
Yeah.
time. Yeah. Oh,
I
So
love
with
it.
you, I know you said that I want to circle back. You said that you're thinking about starting your own brand.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Which Destiny and I have talked about, as she has modeled for the brand before, finding inclusive pieces that make you feel comfortable and confident and are beautiful are so hard to find.
Yes.
And it's driving me nuts. I mean, I try so hard to find pieces that work for every body type.
Mhm.
And, you know, certain body types, whether you have like a longer torso, you're taller,
Yeah.
shorter, like that is not always one piece. But I would say your sizing, we can find things that will work. And I would love to have, it's more of like two-piece dressing that we will change the tops and then the bottoms would kind of like alter. This is just kind of big picture what I'm
Mhm.
thinking.
Mhm.
But more neutrals, a little bit of prints, and just kind of easy that goes day to night. But good quality. We're working on like finding somebody who can help us produce it, finding good fabrics, and then we'll work kind of like on fit. But we get so many questions for inclusive sizing and then, you know, short, regular, tall. And there's just nothing that's out there. And so I just hate
Mhm.
feeling like, you know, I know you can't make everybody happy with like
Sure.
everything, but that's where we have a specific style. You know, I would say that we're really focusing on elevated basics. That's like truly day to night wear. And we should be able to have like a core group of pieces that are in there that really do work for everybody, you know,
Yeah.
and that they're staples and that you can mix and match them and wear them and that goes for everybody. So it's something that's on my goals list
Yeah.
that will be the next thing that I'm working on.
Well, it's so interesting too, like just conversations we've had. Like I started modeling, it's like over a year
think
ago,
so,
actually, which is
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it was a while
Yeah.
back.
You know, you were bringing in like the plus size clothing, and something that's been interesting to me, just kind of talking to you more personally, is
Mhm.
like it's not just that stores don't want
Right.
plus size clothes in their store,
Yeah.
which is kind of like what my original assumption
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's hard to find pieces
Yes.
that, you know, find pieces in general and then find pieces that are cute.
I know.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like it's all down to the vendor because I've even realized that with like my lash business. But I've been dealing with like talking to vendors, and it's just like even finding like you have an idea of what you want
Yeah.
and it exists in here.
Mhm.
And then you're like, it's very particular and I know it's out there, but like it's not out there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not, or if it is, it's like you can get all this other stuff at this better quantity and whatever. And they even push it almost
Yeah.
like the cheaper, different, whatever thing that's like,
Mhm.
this is what everybody else is doing. And it's like, that's cool, but I don't want that.
Oh,
I don't want
yeah.
what everybody
I'm
else is
looking for
doing.
something. Yeah.
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 And I feel like it's like they almost even make it more difficult.
Yeah.
Even in just lashes. So I can't even imagine like clothing because you're buying like different sizes.
Yeah. Well, it's such a myth. And our biggest brands that we carry every single month, they don't offer it. And it's like, why? You
Yeah.
know? I mean, why does it stop at like large, extra large? Like,
Well,
why is it not even an option?
and I know it's not even
Wow.
like from talking to people, it's not even just like plus size, but like even people who are super small
Yeah.
or like
Petites
people-
have
I
a hard
had
time
that
too.
problem when I was
I
really
know
small.
things-
Mhm.
I could shop at 2 stores.
even things like, you know, with plus size, but it's like no boob space.
Yes.
Or we were talking off camera, you're like, my shirts range from small to a large. Like
Yeah.
even that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it like sometimes you can wear this size and then other times? And I feel like for women in general, we
It's hard.
struggle with
Yes.
our appearance. So
Yeah.
it's like when you go into a store and it's like, again, not necessarily the store's fault, it's the brands where
Yeah.
it's like, okay, now I'm putting on these pants that are 5 sizes bigger.
Right.
And I feel like,
And then I feel like crap.
Like,
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. That's the thing. You just don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it sucks.
yeah, it
It'd be
really,
so
really
amazing
does.
to have a store where I could go and know that it's like mostly neutrals and two-piece things.
And not
Yeah.
just
And it can go day to
neutrals, but
night.
like cute
Yes.
neutrals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like not just like a V-neck shirt, but like even
I
like
know. Something that's different.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
And then, like, I like trending. Like, I think that this is, like, currently a trend.
Yes.
However, like, I don't know if in 3 years I will still want to wear the
Sure.
vest. But again, that's why I don't want to invest a ton of money into it.
Exactly.
But it's like this, you can, and it's like trending, but you can also
But it's
wear
still
it
more
different
timeless.
Yeah, I
ways.
thought about
Yeah.
this morning. I was like, this would be so cute with like a printed skirt and booties. This would be great with like
Yes.
black pants. It's cute with denim. It's cute with shorts. Cute with
Yeah.
skirts. It would be cute with your shorts, like
Yeah.
little white linen shorts. There's just like so many different things.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like I've definitely been like taking my wardrobe more to like that capsule.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
wardrobe.
definitely trying
Yeah.
to. I think I'm
Like
at a point in
capsule
life where
wardrobe,
I'm
but
doing
not
that.
like super, super basic. Like
Right.
to
Yes.
have
It
it
needs
some
something.
And when you
because,
try
Yeah.
to build capsule wardrobes too, I feel like when you express that to like a shopper or a brand or what, or go into a store, most stores, like they just show you all the freaking like a black T-shirt,
Yeah.
and you're like, that's not what I meant.
I
That's
know.
not what I
I
meant.
want
Like,
something that's like a
I
little
don't
bit
want to be
elevated.
like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to something later. Or like I like that you said that it's going to be like day to night.
Right.
That's amazing because like with how on the go we are,
Yeah.
no,
the
impossible
thing I
to
love
live.
about your store too is you're trendy, but you're age appropriate.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's like, I'm sure you still get super young girls
Yes.
in your store.
Yes, but that's not
But
the
like,
target.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I feel like when I go in there, it's like it's trendy, but I'm not like this is so obnoxious. Or
Yeah.
like the fit of this is just like super revealing, or
Yes.
whatever.
That's
the
I've
case
been
is.
noticing that too. Like as I've been going shopping lately, I'll go into these stores that are like in the town center because that's where I'm at, and I'm like, I can't buy that.
Yeah.
I would have bought that in college.
Or I think the other hard part is with like the influencer market now, it's like they're all pushing a style.
The same
Like they're all pushing
style.
the same like Amazon set. They're
Yeah.
all
Yes.
pushing like the same style
That's
of
so
shoes.
true.
And it's like, well, now everybody feels like that's what they have to wear, but I
Mhm.
don't feel good in that. That's not like my
No.
style,
Mhm.
So it's like
Or
just
your
kind of
body
breaking.
type.
I know.
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
So just trying to kind of like break out of that mindset a little bit of let's just focus on what you feel truly good in and
Mhm.
like show you how to wear certain things. So it's
Yeah.
not just trying to follow what everybody's telling you to buy. I've even shifted how I've bought for the store. So when it started, it was completely different from how it is now. And even where it's going, we're slimming it down. So we're not owning as much inventory because I think that's what I'm passionate about is you
Yeah.
don't need a lot of things. You just need the right things,
Yes.
and we'll show you and help you kind of how to wear them. So we went from doing every week launch to now we're doing like every couple weeks just to have some like new pieces rolling in. But more importantly, we'll have more time to showcase how to style different things.
I was just about to say too, like your presence on social media and how you're helping your community.
Yeah.
You're not just posting clothes.
Yeah.
Like you're making that connection. You're showing them, how do I style this? Because someone who naturally has good style, like
Mhm.
all three of us do, like it was hard for me to understand that not everyone
I
knows how to
know,
put pieces to like
yes,
teach.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the fun part. And, I don't feel good just being like, hey, buy this,
Yeah.
you need this, you need that. So I want to be more of like a helpful guide, take what you're wearing, like take the bottoms in your closet.
Yeah.
We have things if you need something that's new, but if you have jeans that you love, wear those and,
Yeah.
style it this way or try this different trick with like tucking in your top. So
I think too, like niching down, like we talk about with our service based, we
Yeah.
niche down with like she does wispy lashes, I do extensions.
mhm.
But even you niching down with like what, not only your style that you have, but the amount of inventory you have,
Yes.
it makes it
Mhm.
exciting when like
Yes.
you post that. Like I know even me, like you'll do sneak peeks and I'm like, oh my God, that is so cute.
Yeah.
And it gets people like excited and like ready for like that next thing that you have going on. So I love that
Yeah.
you've kind of like it's like quality over quantity.
For sure.
And it's really
Yes.
easy for me too, like when I'll be, because in our industry, people come in and like they almost look to people like us for like the trends or like where to go shopping. Like I don't know how many times I'll be doing lashes and a girl will be like, oh my God, where did you get this? Or like,
Mhm.
where should I go for this? Or I need a cute place. And I'll send so many people to Fig and Willow
Yeah.
because,
And
but
then-
it's easy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, you like how I dress? Or you like how they'll see like Destiny on our podcast and they'll be like, oh, I love how you and Destiny dress. Or like, your vibe. And I'm like, oh my God, go to Fig and Willow.
Yeah.
Like they have, because it's like a niche thing. Like I can be like,
Yeah.
if you go there and you like this vibe, you'll love these outfits.
Yeah.
And one of my clients went and she was like fangirling. She was like, girl, I dropped way too much money.
Aw.
And I was like, oh, and she was like, but honestly, it wasn't bad. So I kept buying.
We were talking earlier about the importance of aesthetic and like, again,
Yes.
showing up as a brand. It's
Right.
like, if I know that I want a
It's almost
neutral, cute
disingenuine.
piece, I know where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For authenticity.
Yeah,
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
and so many big brands do that. Like you look at like Free People,
Yeah.
like you know a Free People piece when
Yeah.
you see it.
Right.
You know a Lily Pulitzer piece when
Yeah.
you see it. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like, why aren't we as smaller brands doing that as well?
I know,
Like,
yeah,
why
that's
aren't we
true.
creating a brand for ourselves? Like, I feel like it's kind of that. You can almost get that scarcity mindset where you feel like you have to carry everything in your
Yes.
space,
Yeah.
but then you're not known for something. You were talking earlier about like the influencer marketing and like all of that stuff. I'm sure you get a lot of like, oh, how fun, you're a boutique
Yeah.
owner. Like, you just get to play in clothes all day. And, you know, like, We talk about like standards, beauty standards, whether it's buying the clothes or even standards of being a business owner in the beauty industry and how people can look at you. How do you kind of stay away from societal norms of who you are and who your business is? Like, not allowing those whispers to define who you are.
Yeah. I think that owning a business is giving me thicker skin. Definitely in the beginning, every single thing. And it still does. I mean, there's still things that just get to you
Yeah.
because I'm a person. You know,
Yeah.
there's things that people say. I think the biggest thing is like a lot of people kind of look now of like, oh, she's so lucky, you know? Like, you know, like they could kind of just like step into the shoes and just kind of, it would still go
I
as it
kind of
goes.
just want to be like, here.
Yeah, and it's like, man, you
Right.
know, like the amount of money I've invested, the amount of money I've lost, like just the blood, sweat, and tears that like truly has gone into everything. Like we talked about before, like the sacrifice of my family,
Yeah.
myself, like everything.
The
It's
risks that
not
you take
easy.
every single day within your
Yeah.
business.
You know, like
Yeah.
going to less inventory is a big risk. I'm like,
Yeah.
am I going to make enough sales to cover the rent? You know,
Yeah.
so it's like there's all these things that go into it.
They don't even
and
think about the rent.
no.
They're like, oh my God, this store is so cute. You're
Yeah.
so lucky. And you're like, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. You know, like the amount of money that's just in inventory alone and rent, the expenses, it's like somebody's got to manage all that. And I think people don't realize that I have literally done everything all by myself. You know,
Yeah.
I don't have investors. I mean, it was just me and my husband, and we're the only ones that will lose everything if it
Right.
doesn't work out. And so,
Right.
you know, people are like, oh, well, we should be getting this, or, you know, she's so lucky to be able to do it this way.
Yeah.
And I could do it too. And it's like, I think a lot of people could do it. But it's not easy.
And
it's
people
hard.
aren't seeing your behind the scenes. They're not seeing like not only just the money, but the time of
Yeah.
like the experience that you're able to create when you like when people walk into your store. Like that requires and will always require a lot of money, time, effort. Like it's not just you walk into this beautiful space and like it just poofed here.
Right.
You know?
I
And
know. Yeah.
I
I
don't think people
wish.
understand
Oh, I
that.
wish.
Like all the small little details to the music you're playing, to the
Right.
scents in the store, to the
Yes.
layout. I mean, there's so much.
Yes.
that
I
goes
love the layout of
into
the one
it.
in San Marco.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I
Then
was
there's,
walking
like, the
around. I just
galley.
kept making circles.
Yeah.
I was just like,
But that's the thing. I'm like, like there's strategy behind what
Yes.
you do. And like
Oh,
people
yeah.
don't understand. that.
Yeah. And
Like,
I think that's where a lot of people kind of drop off, that they want to do their own thing. I know we're getting like out of the business beauty part of it into more of that business, but
Yeah.
it's just that like you just have to keep going, you
Yeah.
know, like I just kept going, and it's the hard things. So it's not fun to do an LLC. It's
No.
not fun to like write your business plan if you have to, or figure out those systems. And, you know, that's where people are like, forget it. It's too hard. I'm not going to do it.
I heard that actually from my realtor. He was telling me that he was shocked that I had to figure out my LLC. And he was like, oh, you did that? You don't know how many people
Yeah.
would have literally been at almost closing
Yeah.
and been like, it's too much.
Yeah.
And then they just walk away.
but I think that's where too, like,
If you want
not
it.
having that passion.
You have to
Yeah.
really
you
want
to
it.
do it because you see someone else doing it.
Yeah.
And you think, oh my God, they're making a lot of money, or oh my God, they're having so much fun, but you don't have that true passion
Right.
It's not
for
fun
what
at
you're
first.
doing.
Right.
And so I
Yeah.
think, like, I know for me personally, like, that's what gets me through the hard times.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fact that I love it and the fact that I can see the vision
Yes.
for, yes, this sucks now, but like it's going to be so worth it down the line.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
You
as
know?
long as you love what you're doing, you would kind of stick
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
and it grows with you. I think I found even truly like going back to how you were saying like you had to adjust in your business and all those things. I feel like owning a business is also a personal journey and
Yeah.
work through
100%.
so much. Like you were talking about boundaries. I didn't have boundaries when I first
Yeah.
started. I think all three of us as women sat here and we were like, oh shoot, I got to put my foot down.
Yeah.
I got to say no. I
And
got
you lose, I think another hard thing is losing relationships along the way
Yes.
because it
Yes.
is
That's
hard.
hard. You lose
Personal
friends. You
development
lose-
as well. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just so much of it is mindset.
Yeah.
Like so much of running a business is your mindset and like the people in your life, you're just like,
Get thick skin. You got to get thick
Yes,
skin
you
because people
do.
will leave you.
Yeah.
Just holding the bag. I'm like, okay, that's
they want to
fine.
reap off the benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I love too about your business is how you're always giving back to your, I want to say clients, customers.
Yeah.
Clients, but you're always giving back to your customers and, you know, not only educating them on how to style their clothes and like giving them that experience when they walk in, but you even have your little like shop parties that you do after
Yeah.
hours. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah.
And why you did it, like what it is.
Yeah. So we started Girls Night Outs and you just sign up in store. So it's not even anything that we're promoting on our website because it's really for the local community. And you just fill it out in the store and we offer like a Girls Night Out styling shopping party. So you can kind of come to the store with your group of friends. It's your own friends. It's your own private shopping event. And
I know this.
yes,
Yeah.
we provide drinks. We don't really do like a bunch of food and stuff, but it's like, hey, come drink with your friends and shop, and we will help style, put together outfits. You know, I mean, I even promote bring in something that you're struggling with, and I tell that my customers all the time. If they come in, I'm trying to find something for my pants. We'll bring them in. So these are really for them. You know, we're here to help you style. We're here to help you figure out color palettes that work for you, things that work for your body type. Try new things. It's a great way to try what works, with outfits and styling. And
That's so
yeah, it's after hours. We do Monday through Thursday, 6 to 8. So it's private. We lock the doors and it's for
Ooh,
you.
it's not too late either.
Yeah,
I can
I
still go
know.
home and go to sleep.
Yeah. And it's you and your friends and you're just hanging out, which I think is so much fun.
A group of friends, we did Galentine's there. And it was so much fun because it was like, because we're all moms.
Yeah.
And so it was like, we got to all get together without putting in the effort of
Yes.
like, where are we going? What are we
Yeah.
doing? Like that kind of thing. And then it was fun too because you're just like shopping like with your
know.
girlfriends.
Yeah.
And then even from a business standpoint, I feel like it's
Smart.
genius.
Yeah.
Because it's like, even if it's like paying an employee, it's like you're paying an employee to be there and you're pretty much guaranteed like sales during
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it's also like, I'm sure there are people who would have never come into your store before
Right.
that they're now being invited to this event. And
Yeah.
so they're coming in and then they're able to, become a long-term customer
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if we do like a few of them in a month, I mean, it's great.
Yeah. yeah, it's
Yeah, it is.
it's super fun.
Yeah.
I really liked doing that. And it's just like, I don't know, just like getting to shop with your girlfriends. It's just fun in
Yeah.
general. Like, what do you think of this?
I
Like,
know.
And like you get the
Yeah.
whole store to
should have it.
yourself.
Yeah.
especially for someone who might be a little bit more vulnerable about like, I know through my journey of loving myself for who I was, I went through a point where I didn't want to go shopping in the
Yeah.
store because I just like, I don't know, especially if you have like super trendy, cute girls shopping there
Mhm.
and you're not someone who like
Yeah.
feels confident with yourself, that can be super discouraging
Yeah.
of like, I don't really know what to wear. So
Yeah.
I love that you do that. It was super, super fun.
Yeah. That's been a fun one. I like the Girls Night Outs.
That's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could go back and talk to you at the beginning of your journey, what advice would you give to yourself?
I would tell myself to take it easy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Easy.
take it easy. Just like one thing at a time. You don't have to do everything all at once. I like to have something on my list. And if it's on my list, I have to do it. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
So I would definitely just tell myself to enjoy it and, one day at a time, I guess. Just enjoy where you're at and stop looking for the next thing.
That's personal advice to you right now.
Yeah, which I'm
Yeah.
still telling myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ever
think
ending, but
I think that like it's almost like remember where you came from
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we want to be looking for the next big thing,
Yeah.
but be grateful for where you are.
Right.
Remember you started from there. I think it's really easy for us to be hard on ourselves and be like,
Yeah.
oh, I should be doing this. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Just give yourself some
Celebrate
grace.
more,
Oh,
you know? Yeah.
we are the worst at that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so bad.
When you
Nicole.
hit goals, it's like, it's exciting, you know,
Yeah.
instead of just, okay, on to the next. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so guilty of
Yes.
that. She just expanded her business. She's like getting a whole, like just a whole thing now. And I brought her some flowers and like this little gift. And she's like, what's that for?
Yeah.
And
But
I'm
I
like,
literally sat here and I was like, I'm so what did I miss?
she was like,
Yeah.
what is this for? I was like,
I was so lost.
Yeah. I'm celebrating you.
Yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like,
yes, not just celebrating yourself. And this is triggered, not just celebrating yourself, but having people around you
who will
want to
celebrate you.
Yeah.
It means
It's
so
important.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's hard and it's tough.
Yeah.
So it keeps you going.
So how can people keep up with you? Either shop in your store or maybe, you know, they just want more advice on how to style their clothes.
Yeah. So the easiest way would be the website, shopfigandwillow.com. And then it has our store locations. The one is in the Neptune Beach Town Center, and then the other one is in San Marcos Square. And then Fig and Willow Boutique is our Instagram handle. And then my personal one is Katie Werhner, which I am also trying to be a little bit more involved in that and just showing more of behind the scenes of truly what it's like to be a mom of
that's
3
awesome.
and running a business.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And then we'll, of course,
Link.
as always, put those
In the show notes. Yep.
for you guys to see. Well, thank you, Katie, so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you coming. I hope all of you guys are going to leave feeling more inspired and just ready to hit those goals.
Or give yourself grace.
Yeah, give yourself some grace. If you got nothing out of this, give yourself some grace.
Yes.
Leave us a review wherever you guys are listening. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at blended_podcast. Bye. Thanks for being our blended babes.
AKA BBs. Join the conversation and let your voice be heard.
If you're ready for a revolution, don't forget to leave us a review wherever you're listening and follow the journey on Instagram at blended_podcast.
Share this episode with your BB who is ready to beautify the beauty industry and rewrite the standards.
Get all the tea from this episode and more in the show notes.
Bye.